What's up everyone, and welcome back to the Holistic Astrology channel. And today I'm making this video on the Karakas. Now what is Karakas? Karakas are the significated planets. Those planets which actually represents certain special significations in your birth chart. They represent the special points in the birth chart. While doing a prediction, you gotta consider the Karakas. Without the consideration of Karakas, your prediction is incomplete. I'm not saying that using a Karakas will make your prediction 100% accurate or it is a 90% major part of a prediction. No. But still, without considering the Karaka, your prediction is incomplete. And it can change, it can bring a twist in your prediction. You will love it when you start using it. So in this video, I want to say that the Karakas are actually the bosses who controls the game remotely. Same like a TV remote. You just keep changing the channels and you remotely control your TV. Same thing is with these planets. They actually remotely control those significations in the birth chart. And if we analyze those planets, if we look into those planets, we can actually say yes, they are doing it. And it is fun doing it. I love doing this. Now here's the thing. The predictions made by the astrologers are based on the Karakas. And in this video, I'm going to drill down a little deeper into the Karakas. I'm going to tell you that how to use the Karakas at right place, at right time, and on the right incident. That is the most important thing. Now, the Karakas are of three main kinds. The first kind of Karaka is called the natural Karaka. Second type of Karaka is called variable Karaka. The third kind of Karaka is called the fixed Karaka. And into the Hindi language, for the people who understand Hindi better, I would say the natural Karakas are called Naisargik Karakas. Variable Karakas are called as Chara Karakas. And the fixed Karakas are called as Sthira Karakas. Now, out of these three Karakas, the most abundantly used Karaka is the natural Karakas because it has all those 9 planets, Sun all the way down to Ketu. We use all those 9 planets. We use their significations to do our everyday predictions. In everyday astrology, we use these planets. Say a moon. Moon represents mother. Moon represents your 4th house. Moon represents your body fluids, your chest area, your happiness, home peace, a lot of things, your mind. So in everyday astrology, we look into the moon and we say something about these things. Especially when we look into a chart, say the Lord of the 4th house is Venus, or let's take it as a Mercury. Then we look into the Karaka moon. So if the Mercury is in the strong position in the chart, but the moon is down, then we cannot guarantee 100% happiness from that house. Because the Karaka mother, the moon, is weak. So we gotta look into this way. Now I'm going to show you a chart. I'm going to show you a birth chart. Just note that chart down. Note down on your notebook. Write down all the planet placements the way I showed in the picture. I'm going to show you this now. So when I'm going to tell you about the Karakas, you got to look into those planets along the video so you can better understand that. Okay, so here's the chart. So here is this slide in which you see we have 12 houses starting from number 1, which is right in the center, and all the way down to number 12. So 12 houses in the birth chart, and you see there are different planets being placed in different houses. Now these all planets are Karakas. Especially the slide which I'm showing you here is indicating the Nasargic Karakas, or you can say the natural Karakas, natural significator planets. Now, in the first house, it is Sun. Second house, where's the number 2? It is Jupiter. Third house, Mars is placed. In the fourth house, Moon and Venus. In the fifth house, there is Jupiter. Sixth house, Mars and Saturn. Seventh house, Venus and Jupiter. Eighth house, Saturn. Ninth house, Jupiter again. 10th house, Sun, Mercury, Saturn. 11th house, Jupiter. And 12th house is Saturn. Now you see some planets are repeating in different houses. That means they have an impact being a karka. So you see the placement of those planets in the birth chart, that how they are placed. Those are the karakas which controls those houses remotely. Now here's the thing. The next kind of karakas, before I go into the detail about the karakas, about those planets, that what does this significate and how do they significate those things, I'm going to tell you about the rest of those two karakas, which are the variable karaka and the sthira karaka. Now the variable karaka, the chara karaka, this karaka, as the name suggests, it varies from person to person. It cannot be fixed with every person. Okay, this karakas represents the relationships with the people. This karakas tells us that how your father, how your mother, your brothers, sisters, your uncle, aunts, your maternal grandparents, father grandparents from that side, your enemies, your all those people around you, how they gonna deal with you, how you gonna deal with them, what would be your karma towards them, and what kind of karma they will give it to you. These karakas represents those incidents, but there is only one difference. Now in the chara karaka, we do not consider Ketu. In the natural karakas, we considered all the 9 planets, but in this case, we just consider 8 planets, except Ketu. Why Ketu? Why I'm not considering the Ketu? It is so simple, because Ketu is detachment. Ketu is moksha. So anything which detaches you from the material world, from the relationships, is not represented by chara karaka. Here we are just talking about the relationships with the people, and Ketu does not fit into this category, because Ketu takes you to the moksha, takes you to some other place, spirituality. But here we are talking about our progress, the role of those people in our lives to reach to our destination, the role of those people who guide us to achieve our goals. Those people are seen from these chara karakas. Now these chara karakas are being divided into 8 different parts, 8 different kinds of chara karakas. The first one is Atma Karak. Atma Karak is your true self. Atma Karak is you own yourself, your true self is Atma Karaka. The second Karka is Amatya Karka. Amatya Karka is somebody who guides you to achieve your goals. Amatya Karka are those people, those gurus, those special people who hold your hand in the life and push you towards your destiny. Third one is Bhratri Karka. Bhratri Karka is brother Karka. That how your brother is going to be with you. What kind of relationship do you have? What kind of karma you will exchange with your brother. Fourth is Matri Karka. Matri Karka is mother Karka. It precisely tells you about your mother. Remember, moon is the general Karka of mother, But here, the Matrikarka in your horoscope is something different. It's gonna tell you precisely about your mother, that how your relationship will be with your mother, how you guys will exchange your karmas with each other. Either you will get too much love from your mother, either you will be hated by your mother, or it could be anything. Then Pitrikarka. Pitrikarka is father significator, father karka. It tells you about your father. Same way I told you about mother. So same way it will tell you about your father. Like unlike the sun is the karka of father, but it could be a different planet for your father through the Chara karka. Okay. And next is Putra karka. Putra karka is the karka of children, especially son. So you can consider son, daughter and all children through this karka. Okay. And the next is Nati karka. Nati karka is like your children of your uncles, your brothers from far relationship, your cousins, and also your enemies are fall in the same category of Nati karkas. So how these guys will impact your life throughout your life. And the last one is the Dara karka. Dara karka is your spouse. How your spouse will be with you, how much love will you get here from your spouse, what is the stability of your spouse in your horoscope. These all things are seen from these 8 further branches of variable karkas. Now the most important thing is that yes, you have all the info about the Chara karkas now, but how to really use those? You cannot just pick a planet from the Chara karka and start using it. No. To find out that which Chara karka is which and what role is it playing in your chart, you have to do a little calculation. It's not that tough. It is very easy. Let me tell you a very simple thing, that how to find your Chara karkas. The planet with the highest degree in your horoscope, which has the most highest degree, say it is 25 degree and something minutes. So that would be the highest degree planet, that will be your first karka of variable karkas, which is the Atma karka. That will be your true self. And you keep going down with the degree wise. And in the end, the lowest degree will go to the Dara karka for your spouse. So it is very easy. Highest degree to the first, and the next, and the down, and then down, and then down. So coming down in the degree wise, and the last one is your wife or your husband. But remember, do not include Ketu in that. Ketu does not come into this category. Now there is only one exception. There is a little one trick in calculating the Chara karka, and that is with the Rahu. In case you have to look into a Rahu, that how much degree does a Rahu have in your chart, you have to do a little extra calculation. Let me tell you what. Rahu always moves anti-clockwise. It starts from 30 degrees. So if you see your Rahu is at 28 degree and something in your horoscope, that doesn't mean that it is at highest degree. No, it just started. It has just started from the 30th degree, and it is just started from 30th and it is going towards the first degree. So in case of Rahu, lowest the degree, the lowest degree it is showing, the highest degree it has. So you have to do simply, if the Rahu is at 28 degrees, then minus 30 degrees from that. The answer will be 2 degrees. That means the Rahu is just 2 degrees in your birth chart. So, but if after subtracting from 30 degrees, if the Rahu gets the highest degree, that means that will be your Atma karka. Okay, so this is a little tricky part to calculate the Rahu portion. Now there is one more kind of karkas, which is the Sthira karka, which is called the fixed karka. That karka is also very important because it plays a very important role in prediction. But I recommend not to use it in everyday predictions, because these karakas are especially for finding the death timings of the people, are being used for that. So using these fixed karakas in making other predictions might give a fluctuation in your predictions, and you may not go accurate with your predictions. This is basically used to find out if somebody is near to the deathbed, and you have to find out that how long he or she is going to live, so they can do the possible best karma before leaving this earth, before living this life. So Sun and Venus. Sun is represented by father, or you can say the Sun represents the father, and also the Venus represents the father. But the difference is, Sun is being considered for those people who are born in the daytime, and Venus for those who are born in the night time. And then Moon and Mars, they both are considered for mother. But Mars, if the native is born in the daytime, and Moon if the native is born in the night time. So here is a difference in the prediction for day and night. And then Jupiter. Jupiter represents your husband, son, your grandparents, uncles, aunts, those people who are elderly in age, gurus, they all represented through the Jupiter. Then we have Venus. Venus represents your father-in-law, your mother-in-law, okay, your wife, the aunts from far distance. Then we have Saturn. Saturn here represents your elder brothers and sisters. Usually we can see from the third house, but here the Saturn is a different thing here. So you have to look into the Saturn for elder brothers and sisters if you're looking into their last time. So guys, this was all about the three main karakas: natural karakas, chara karakas, and the fixed karakas. Now, as I told you that I'm going to tell you that what planets represents what into what house. So let's start with the sun first. What is the sun? Sun is like a huge fireball. Sun is hot. Sun is king. Sun is power, authority. Sun is profession. Sun is your soul. So sun represents the first house and the 10th house of profession, 10th house of your karma. In the first house, it represents your true self, your own self, your light, your soul. Soul is a what? Soul is a light inside your body. So sun represents your ego, your pride, your confidence, your kingly nature. Those all things represents by the sun into the first house. Same thing goes into the 10th house of karma. 10th house requires to do karma. Sun represents authority over there. Sun represents like I'm the boss. Okay, sun controls the masses over there, controls their people who are working for them. All seen from the 10th house. Like somebody's getting promoted, you're getting some respect from the government, all those things, official, something like administration is seen from the 10th house, and sun is representing that part. Okay, now sun also represents your father. In some scholars of Vedic astrology, they see father from the 10th house, and some see from the 9th house. But yes, if you're talking about the 10th house, then we can say yes, we can see the status of father from there too. Now the second planet is moon. Moon represents the 4th house. Moon is the karaka of the 4th house. 4th house is the house of your mother. It's the house of your happiness, your house peace, your love with the mother, your basic education, your sanskars. Your sanskars is what? Your teachings from your mother. It's the lap of your mother. Your chest area, your body fluids, etc., etc. All these things are seen from the moon. And the fourth house is your chest also. Then the third planet is Mercury. Mercury is the significator of 10th house. Why 10th house? Because Mercury is communication. Yes, the Sun is the Karaka of the 10th house, but Sun is something like a king, a boss, authority. But there should be a mind working behind that boss, which is the Mercury. That is a communicative part. And you need communication in a profession. Okay? It is as simple. And the third planet is Mars. Mars is representing the 6th house and the 3rd house. These two houses. 3rd house is the house of your courage, your power, your younger brothers and sisters, your short journeys. And the 6th house is the house of your debts. 6th house is the house of your litigation, your health, your enemies, your everyday work. These all things are seen from the 6th house. Imagine a soldier in an army. The general or lieutenant says that, hey, go and achieve that target. And same thing is the Mars here. Your boss says you on the job, hey, you gotta do this job perfectly. Then you do that. You're like a soldier in that house. Because Mars is a significator of that house. And then Venus. Venus is significator of 4th house and 7th house. Why 4th house? Even though the moon is a significator of that house, but we just not only see the mother from the 4th house, we also see the vehicles, we also see the luxury. All those physical comforts in your house are seen from the 4th house as well. And the giver of all these luxuries into your life is Venus. So we have to look into the Venus position to find out those things in your chart, to see the promises of those things. And then the 7th house. 7th house is the house of your spouse. In case of men, a male horoscope, you have to consider Venus, because Venus is represented by wife. Okay, so in case you want to look into the wife, you will consider Venus and the 7th house. And then comes Jupiter. Jupiter is a major planet, so it controls many houses in the birth chart. Jupiter controls the 2nd house. Jupiter controls the 5th house. Jupiter has an impact on the 7th house, 9th house, and 11th house. So Jupiter is what? Jupiter is expansion. Jupiter is blessing of a guru. Jupiter is wisdom. So Jupiter in the 2nd house represents your wealth, how wealthy you are, what kind of wealth you will have. It gives you an expansion in the wealth. It represents the expansion in the family, because 2nd house is your family also. 5th house is your intellectual thinking. 5th house is your kids. So Jupiter is a giver of the babies. Jupiter gives the kids. Then the 7th house. 7th house is the house of your spouse. And we're going to look into the Jupiter in the case of females. If you're looking into a female chart, then you consider Jupiter as a husband, opposite sex. Then Jupiter is seen from the 9th house. It represents the 9th house qualities. The 9th house is what? 9th house is your dharma, long journeys. It also represents your gurus and father also. Even though the father is seen from the 10th house, but yes, you can see the father from the 9th house as well. It gives you an expansion in spirituality, in gaining the spiritual knowledge, and to follow the journey towards the moksha. And then the 11th house. 11th house is what? 11th house is your gains, your achievements, progress of your profession. So if the Jupiter is good, it's going to expand those qualities. It's going to expand the achievements. It's going to expand your circle with the influential people. So you see how many houses does it cover in the birth chart? And then comes the Saturn. Saturn is very, very important planet also. Saturn controls your 6th house. Saturn controls your 8th house. Saturn controls your 12th house and 10th house as well. So you see, the Saturn in the 6th house is like a strict teacher, is like a strict boss. And what generally Saturn represents? It represents a strict teacher. It represents an honest person, an old person. So it actually tells you that how to work hard to defeat your enemies, to pay off your debts, to stay away from the problems. If you follow the rule of the Saturn, your hurdles of 6th house will change into opportunities. And then move on to the 8th house. 8th house is what? 8th house is occult science. 8th house is depth. 8th house is inheritance. 8th house is like longevity. Saturn, being a slow planet, represents this house of longevity. So in this house, it tells you that, hey, you gotta be spiritual, okay? Then I will give you more and more out of that depth where you cannot reach. So if you are more spiritual, if you are if you are respecting your wife, because that house is a house of progression of your marriage house. The 2nd house from the 7th house is the 8th house, which means the progress of the married life. And in the married life, if you are honest with your spouse, then Saturn is gonna bless you and gonna give you more and more. This is very basic rule, which we usually forget, so this is a basic rule which we usually forget and we don't even bother about it. And then the next is 10th house. 10th house is what? 10th house is your karma. Even though the Sun and Mercury are already the Karakas over there, but why Saturn? Saturn is the strict teacher again. Saturn tells you that how to do that karma. What kind of karma you have to do. Because Saturn is all the related to the karma only. Saturn is karma. Okay? So Saturn plays a major role over there. It tells you how to do the hard work, how the hard work pays off, how to be in a discipline. And then the 12th house. 12th house is the last house. It is the exit door out of this all drama theater. From that exit door, the Saturn tells you that, hey, listen, I can let you out of it, but you gotta follow the rules of the 12th house and my rules. And those are, be spiritual. Because the monks are being seen from the 12th house. A monk is what? A monk is Saturn. 12th house is what? 12th house is Saturn. 12th house is solitude. 12th house is losses, hospitalization, other world, spirituality. It is 12th from the 1st house. That means a loss of the native. When you lose yourself, then you exit this world. So if you follow the Saturn, if you follow the solitude and do the meditation, then you can get spirituality, high level spirituality. Solitude here doesn't mean that you close yourself in the doors and you don't even talk to the people. No. Solitude here means that cut off from the worldly things and isolate yourself and start meditating. And Saturn is the other name of solitude, isolation. So you see how these planets actually make sense in all these houses. So guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I have tried my best to put the best in this video. I try to cover up everything in the Karakas. Even though this is a very detailed subject, we cannot discuss everything in the little time period, in the little window of time. But yes, I tried. If you have any questions about it, please put it in the comment box, or you can just message me. And thanks again for watching this video. And yes, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, Holistic Astrology channel, as I'll be coming up with the more interesting videos on astrology and chakras and a lot of more things. So guys, subscribe to me, and also you can follow me on the Facebook on my page, Holistic Astrology channel. And once again, thank you for watching, and take care for yourself.